Hi, I'm Juliet Mullen at Clear Quartz Clarity and I'm a wellbeing coach and consultant. Thanks for joining this video today. I wanted to speak to you about a topic that's really close to my heart, and that is burnout. How many of you have experienced the symptoms of burnout? I would imagine that there's quite a lot sitting thinking, well, that might be me, or that was me, or I am struggling right now, or I know someone that's struggling right now. There is a real rise of burnout in organisations and with individuals. In a society where being busy is like wearing a badge of success, we're constantly striving to do more, to achieve more, and just to cram in more. And it's having real, physical and emotional impacts on people and organisations. So I want to raise awareness about burnout, what it is, how it shows up, and what we can do about it. A few years ago, I really struggled with burnout. I struggled with the loss of a parent, with a difficult divorce, with changing jobs, with changing house, and I struggled. On the outside, I probably looked fine. A lot of my colleagues and friends would tell you that yes, I had some difficult times, but that overall I was doing okay. But actually on the inside, I was far from it. I done all the things that you would normally expect. I spoke to the doctor, I changed my diet, I exercised, I spent time with friends. I did everything that you would expect someone to do. I even sought, professional help. But unfortunately, it didn't actually have a positive impact. So I just kept busy, being busy, doing more, achieving more, and throwing myself into more. And roll on insomnia. Now it's advised that we have about 7 to 8 hours sleep per night, but some of the symptoms of burnout is that it can really have an impact, first of all, on our emotional well-being, and then on our physical well-being as well. And it can impact how we feel about what we're contributing to, and if we feel we're adding value to organisations and to our job. But there is an actual reason why we feel the way that we feel. There is an actual tangible reason for it, and that is, within our brain. I'm sure that we all recognise some of the symptoms within ourselves or within people that we know. And I actually studied a lot of the top people in the industry. I studied mindfulness, I became a meditation teacher, I actually became a yoga teacher as well. I studied clinical hypnotherapy, neuro-linguistic programming, otherwise known as NLP, the emotional freedom technique, and many healing modalities. I actually spent a few years of my life just completely retraining in a lot of well-being modalities, both within the organisational context as well as helping my own healing journey. And I found that as I learned a lot of these techniques, my sense of well-being completely improved and skyrocketed. So what is it then that made the difference? Well, there's lots of different things that you can do, but some of the main ones is actually taking a pause to recognise where you are right now. I hear a lot of people, a lot of colleagues, and they say, it's okay, I'm busy, it's been busy, I'm chronically busy, but I know the line. I know when I've done too much. But we have to question, do we? Because that's one of the things with burnout, is that we think we know where the line is. We think we'll know when it's time to stop doing too much. But actually, before long, this chronic stress, this overwhelm, is what leads to burnout emotionally, mentally, and physically. And sometimes it can creep up and it's too late by the time that we realise, and it can have devastating effects, and it can take some time to backtrack on that and to get our bodies back into balance, because it does affect the hormones and the chemicals in our body. As I said, there's a reason why our brain does what it does, and it has very real physical signs and symptoms. So what can you do? You can acknowledge where you are, and then think about what is it that you want from life. What's your passions? What's your aspiration? What fills you up with joy? What's your why? What are you doing all this for? What do you want from life? And then thinking about, what does well-being mean for you? What is your ideal map of well-being or ideal map of life? What does that look like? Thinking about how you cope with change, how you prioritise well-being when crisis situations or when change situations come up at work or at home, and how you actually deal with that. The answer that we find a lot of the time is in our emotional resilience that affects our sense of well-being and able to cope with these crisis situations that come up and still allow us to feel that sense of balance. So the message in this video is to take a pause, think about where you are right now and check in with yourself to see how you're feeling. Don't assume that you'll know where that line is and you'll know when it's too late, because we actually don't always. So if this is something that resonates and you're thinking about it, I've actually got a free quiz that you can do to find out if you're headed for burnout. And if you have any questions or you want to know more, keep following me as I explain more of the journey, more about the reasons why the brain does what it does, more about the symptoms, and more about how you can avoid it. And if you want to reach out to share your experience or any questions, then just get in touch with me on here and send me a message. Thanks.